Imagine this for a moment. It's a quiet Tuesday morning. You pour your coffee. You walk to the mailbox like you've done 1,000 times before, and there it is, a plain white envelope from the Social Security Administration. You open it at the kitchen table, and your stomach drops. The letter says you were overpaid. It could be $3,000. It could be $30,000. And buried in the fine print are words that change everything. We will recover this overpayment by withholding 50% of your monthly benefit. 50%, half of your check, gone. You read it again. You think there must be a mistake. You never did anything wrong. You reported everything you were supposed to report. And now in 2026, with Medicare premiums rising and groceries costing more than ever, Social Security is telling you they are going to take half of the money you depend on to live. Your hands start to shake. You wonder how you're going to pay rent, how you're going to fill your prescriptions, how you're going to keep the lights on. If this is happening to you right now, or if you're afraid it might happen, I need you to stop everything and listen carefully. Because what I'm about to tell you could save your entire monthly check. I am Milena. I'm a senior policy analyst, and for years I have helped retirees just like you understand the complicated rules buried inside Social Security, Medicare, and pension law. Here on Silver Law and Money, my only job is to make sure you don't lose money you've worked your whole life to earn. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what this new 50% clawback rule says, exactly which two forms can stop it, and the exact deadline that most seniors completely miss. And please stay with me until the very end. Because there is one hidden mistake that seniors are making right now, a mistake so common that even people who file the right paperwork are still losing their benefits. I'll show you how to avoid it. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 67 years old. He lives in a small 2-bedroom house in Ohio. He retired 3 years ago after working as a foreman for nearly 40 years. His Social Security check is $1,900 a month. After the Medicare Part B premium comes out, he takes home a little over $1,700. It's not a lot, but he's careful. He pays his bills, he visits his grandchildren on Sundays, he sleeps well at night. Then one afternoon in February, Robert got a letter from Social Security. The letter said that back in 2022, his benefit had been miscalculated. He had been overpaid by $11,400. The letter said that if he did not respond, Social Security would begin withholding 50% of his monthly check starting in 30 days. Robert was confused. He had never been told there was a problem. He hadn't worked. He hadn't moved. He hadn't changed anything. But there it was in black and white. So Robert did what most seniors do. He panicked and then he tried to handle it himself. He called Social Security. He waited on hold for 2 hours. The agent told him he could file an appeal within 60 days. Robert felt relieved. He thought he had 2 full months to figure this out. So he set the letter aside, planning to deal with it the following month. That was Robert's mistake. And it's the same mistake thousands of seniors are making in 2026. Let me explain exactly what the rule says in plain English. Back on March 7th of 2025, the Social Security Administration announced a major policy change. Before that date, if you were overpaid, Social Security would only take back 10% of your monthly check. That was manageable. That was survivable. But starting with overpayments established on or after April 25th of 2025, that rate jumped to 50%. Half of your check, every single month, until the debt is paid in full. This applies to retirement benefits. It applies to survivor benefits. It applies to family benefits. And it applies to Social Security disability. The only exception is Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, which still has the 10% rate. Now here is what almost nobody understands. The clock that matters is not 60 days. It is 30 days. Social Security is required to wait at least 30 days after sending you the notice before they start collecting. If you file the right form within those 30 days, the collection is paused while they review your case. But if you wait until day 31, the 50% withholding kicks in automatically. Even if you appeal later, even if you eventually win, that money is already being pulled from your check while you wait. That is what happened to Robert. He waited. He thought he had 60 days. By the time he filed his paperwork on day 45, his March check had already been cut in half. He lost $950 he was counting on for rent. Now here's where it gets even more confusing, and this is where I need you to pay very close attention. There are 2 completely different forms. Most seniors don't know the difference, and filing the wrong one can get your case thrown out. The first form is called the SSA 561. This is the request for reconsideration. You file this form when you believe you do not actually owe the money. Maybe Social Security made a calculation error. Maybe the amount is wrong. Maybe you reported everything correctly and they made the mistake. The SSA 561 says, in effect, I don't owe this debt. The second form is called the SSA 632. This is the request for waiver of overpayment recovery. You file this form when you agree that yes, there was an overpayment, but it wasn't your fault, and paying it back would cause you serious financial hardship. The SSA 632 says, in effect, I may owe it, but I cannot afford to pay it, and the mistake wasn't mine. These are two different legal arguments. They require two different forms, and if you file the wrong one, Social Security can deny your case on procedural grounds without ever looking at the facts. There is also a third form that almost nobody talks about. It's called the SSA 634. This form lets you ask Social Security to lower the withholding rate. If 50% of your check would leave you unable to pay for food, rent, medication, or utilities, you can request a much lower rate, in some cases as low as $10 a month. But you have to ask. They will not offer this to you. Now let me give you the 3 exact steps you must take if you receive an overpayment letter from Social Security. Step 1. The moment you receive the letter, write down the date you received it, circle it on your calendar. Then count 30 days forward and circle that date too. That second date is your real deadline. Not 60 days, 30 days. This is the window where you can stop the collection before it starts. Step 2. Decide which form you need. If you believe Social Security is wrong about the overpayment itself, file Form SSA 561. If you accept the overpayment but cannot afford to repay it and it wasn't your fault, file Form SSA 632. If you simply need the monthly withholding lowered, file Form SSA 634. You can find all 3 forms on the official Social Security website at ssa.gov. Print them, fill them out carefully, and keep a copy for yourself before you submit them. Step 3. Submit your forms in a way that creates a paper trail. Do not just drop them in the mail and hope for the best. Either deliver them in person to your local Social Security office and ask for a date-stamped receipt, or send them by certified mail with return receipt requested. If Social Security loses your paperwork, and it happens more often than you would believe, that receipt is the only thing standing between you and a denied claim. Now, before I let you go, I promised you the hidden mistake, the one that seniors keep making, even when they file the right forms on time. Here it is. Most seniors assume that the overpayment notice from Social Security is correct. They assume the government wouldn't send a letter unless the numbers had been verified. But Social Security itself admits that overpayment notices frequently contain errors. Some of these debts are from calculation mistakes Social Security made years ago. Some are based on outdated income information. Some are simply wrong. If you do not challenge the amount, you accept it by default. You may end up repaying thousands of dollars you never actually owed. So please, before you agree to anything, before you sign anything, before you authorize a single dollar of withholding, request a full written explanation of how the overpayment was calculated. You have the legal right to that information. Make them prove the number. Do not just trust the letter. I want to leave you with one more thing. And I want you to take this seriously. Do not rely only on YouTube notifications for important updates about your benefits. YouTube changes its rules constantly, and seniors miss critical alerts every single day. The rules around Social Security, Medicare, and overpayments are changing faster in 2026 than at any point in the last 20 years. The 50% clawback is just the beginning. If this video helped you understand this rule, please subscribe to Silver Law and Money and turn on notifications so you can stay informed. Share this video with a friend, a neighbor, or a family member who depends on Social Security. One conversation could save someone you love from losing half of their monthly check. And remember, you worked your entire life to earn these benefits. You followed the rules. You paid into the system. You deserve every dollar that is owed to you. Don't let a confusing letter or a missed deadline take that away from you. I'm Elena, and this is Silver Law and Money. Stay informed, stay protected, and I will see you in the next video.